All right, hello, and welcome to the show. I hope everybody's having a good weekend. I want to talk some Mando today. We're talking Mandalorian Season 2, Episode 2 and 3. We didn't want to talk about it last week because some of us hadn't seen the episodes yet. Obviously, there's also Episode 4 out this week as well. And we'll talk about Episode 4 and possibly Episode 5 together maybe in a couple of weeks from now. But definitely going to talk all spoilers about Season 2, Episode 2 and 3. Lot to discuss. So if you guys haven't seen the episodes yet, or you just don't want to hear it, skip ahead about, 30 minutes or so. Because the first half hour or so is going to be us just talking about the Mandalorian, and then we'll get into talking about the game a little bit, and we're going to talk a little bit about IG-11 and the child now making their way into the game via the galactic challenges, and we're going to see what kind of impact that character is going to make on the game, and we're going to start it off by introducing the co-host for the show. So Ranger is not going to be available tonight. He's been working real hard this weekend, so he's not going to make it for this particular episode, but he'll be back next week. Maurice is going to be joining us here shortly. He's not available at the moment. He's just coming back. He's going to be running a few minutes late, but he'll be here in a few minutes. But I am joined by the lovely, beautiful, super talented, and probably should be the host of this show in the first place, Avinash.
Oh, hey.
What's going on?
Hey, not much.
How are you?
I'm doing well, thank you.
How's your weekend going so far?
Oh, it's going pretty darn good.
Okay.
Pretty darn good. So I'm excited.
Excellent. Mike Yench is still working on Chewie and 3PO. Good luck with that. I'm still working on that too. Those are good characters to have. Let me tell you, you definitely want to have Chewie in tow, because let me tell you, at the end of the day, that character adds some additional value to a whole nother squad of characters. So we'll talk a little bit about that. Too, Stonewall, OMG, I get to see you guys live. What's up, Ramon, Gom, Ranger, Avi? I'm so happy right now. What's going on, Stonewall? I'm glad that you are here and live for the show. Nightmare, dab it. Yes. Yes. Mike Yent, you're almost finished on getting Mando 7 stars. Congrats. I am not there yet. I'm still 6 stars, I think. So, or almost at 6 stars. So that's good. I am dangerously close to getting Galactic Legend Kylo. Like, dangerously close. So when that happens, I'm going to have a Galactic Legend Kylo party on the stream. We're going to stream just for fun. Okay, like whatever. Like whenever that day comes, you're just gonna get a surprise. Ramon is live stream. Okay, I mean, I may save it for the weekend, but probably not. I mean, I'm probably just gonna decide to go nuts. And listen, you guys love the randomness of this stream as it is anyway. Okay, there's zero, consistency here. Okay, we do this for fun. And at the end of the day, listen, if I really wanted to make, $1 million as a YouTuber, I probably should get on my shit and be a little bit more consistent with what I do. But you guys love the randomness that is the stream. And, listen, at the end of the day, we have a good time. I am going to start eventually making more content. I promise you guys. I know you guys love Ramon, okay? And if you want to see more Ramon, I can bring that to you. The problem is that, I've been changing my life around. I've been really good about, my diet. I've lost 170 pounds now, guys. 170 pounds. Let's go. Yes.
Woo,
Let's go. I feel fantastic. I feel fantastic. And I'm playing basketball. I'm going on road trips every weekend with my son. I took him to Maine during the summer. I took him to, Lake George. I just got back from a road trip with my buddy to Chicago and Wisconsin a month ago. I've taken him to see castles and all different things. I've just taken him all over. They took him to Philly to get a cheesesteak and go see the Rocky Steps. So thank you very much, Stonewall. Yeah, I've just been kind of working on myself, and obviously I've also been dating again and going out and doing that, like with Ranger having to help me try to get my gas because I was on a date a few months ago. I've been out there a lot more lately, and that's been making it more difficult for me to make content on YouTube. I got to be honest. It's just been really difficult for me to make videos. And I know the live stream every week is great. I love doing the live show, but honestly, your channel doesn't grow unless you constantly make videos, and I just haven't been on that. So I would love to do more of that, and maybe not necessarily just Star Wars related content, maybe some other stuff too, because I have a lot to offer. I have a lot to give. I think I can share my opinions on other things, and you guys may like to hear that. So we'll see. I maybe during the holidays I'll have some more time to start. Maybe like a little bit of a different format where we still do the live shows on the weekends, and maybe I still periodically do some Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes videos. But I would love to do another show that's just based on me talking about either current events or, maybe content. I don't know if it's TV shows or movies or, maybe just a general show where I talk about what's going on today, during that week. Maybe there's a couple of different topics I want to discuss, and I'll kind of make it like a pardon the interruption kind of situation where we have maybe 5 different topics or 6 different topics on the list that we want to talk or touch on, and we'll just talk about. Who knows? I love a lot of stuff, and if you guys love me, you'll love that stuff too, because I'm sure we all think like-mindedly here, at least for the most part.
Did the stream die?
I don't know. Did it die?
Oh, it did for a minute there. Yeah.
I don't know. It looks like it didn't to me. I mean, I've had consistent stream connection.
Oh, okay.
Here. So maybe it was.
Yeah.
Oh, there he is.
That's what killed the stream. Maurice
That's
took
what killed it,
Maurice
His
took all of our
beautiful
bandwidth.
His beautiful face just halted everything.
Maurice took all that bandwidth. Now, okay, so Maurice, are you on camera? I'm going to put you on.
No.
Can you be?
Maybe.
Putting you on the spot here, Maurice. I mean, listen, I want to see the flowing locks. Please don't wear a hat. I want to see the flowing locks.
Be careful what you wish for, homie. All right.
All right. Okay, I'm pulling it up. Let's get it. Interact. Get in there with Gom. Join the hangout. Oh! Okay, I gotta just give me 1 second, guys. Just bear with me here, okay? This has happened a couple of times in the past, and I was able to get it going. So I just gotta X this out now, then open it up again, then paste it, and okay. And then now I can interact, get in, join Gom, and there he is, the handsome gentleman himself. Let me just get you on screen here. There we go. Gom makes it to the party. Physical appearance of Gom right here for you guys. Okay?
Oh, yeah. There we go.
You thought you weren't going to get the beauty? You got it. Okay? You got it. Okay, we got the full... So only Ranger's not here tonight, which sucks. But, I mean, listen, he's here all the time. So, I mean, let him rest tonight. We're going to talk some Mando. So, I've just been on like a 5-minute dissertation about my personal life and how I'm an awesome person, Maurice. So you missed absolutely nothing. Okay.
I heard you talking about how you offer and all that jazz.
Yeah. So let's talk the Mandalorian episodes 2 and 3. So first and foremost, let's go into episode 2. Probably a little bit more of a, I don't want to say a filler episode, but more of a filler episode than episodes 1 or 3, I would say. You know what I mean? But also very cool. I mean, like, you know, they had that interaction with the rebels, right? They were kind of on the run. They were trying to get to other Mandalorians. You know what I mean? So we got to see them kind of looking for Mandalorians, and then, you know, obviously in episode 3 we're going to get into the spoilers there. So again, last warning, guys, spoilers, episodes 2 and 3 of the Mandalorian. What did you guys think about episode 2?
I think it was still good. It was interesting, especially with like Frog Lady and carrying all her little frogs. But I think what really got me was the fact that the child was extremely carnivorous and was always hungry, and he was determined to eat all those eggs.
A lot of people had something to say about this. So what did you think about the child eating all the eggs?
I thought it was, frankly, it's just that he just didn't understand what they really were. He was just hungry. So
Right.
being.
Uh-oh.
On there, but did we cut out?
That time the stream did drop, yes. Yes. We're back now though. We're good. So you were saying basically the child was carnivorous and yeah, there was actually a lot of backlash online about this because people were saying that they were upset that the child is carnivorous. And eating, eating so many of the babies. What do you think about it, Maurice? Do you think it's just funny, or do you think it's a problem?
I think it's really not that big of a deal. Like I really
Well,
didn't.
he was eating frogs on other planets.
I really didn't think anything of it, to be honest. I didn't even notice. I guess as you guys brought it up, I just didn't think it was that big of a deal. But.
Yeah. I didn't know that
about
there was
anything,
such
I
a
guess.
backlash. I just thought it was hilarious that he was, trying to eat all those eggs. My husband's laughing in the background in the other room, knowing exactly. And then, he just hid some of them apparently on himself so he could snack on them later.
Yeah, people are really sensitive right now with everything going on in the world. So, like, every little thing that people tweet about, this has been a thing that's been going on online now forever. Like, ever since, like, they started this, like, like the Me Too movement and all that stuff. It's like, it's just been nonstop with, like, people going online and complaining about things. I'm not trying to couple in, like the Me Too movement with Baby Yoda. I'm saying those two completely different things. But I'm just saying it's like there's been a lot of sensitivity to things online. There's been a lot of people trying to block and censor things. And Star Wars, obviously, is something that's always controversial. So people are going to be very opinionated about what Disney chooses to do with Star Wars. If George Lucas did, it wouldn't be a big deal. If he did it like 20 years ago. If he made a Baby Yoda and was eating frogs, nobody would have cared. You know what I'm saying? But now,
right, yeah,
it's a problem.
He's a baby. He doesn't even have words. He doesn't understand a lot of stuff. There's some things that he's starting to understand, but there's things that he doesn't.
Let me tell you that the dynamic that they have going on right now with the Mandalorian and the child is fantastic. I mean, first of all, the baby is the cutest thing in the entire world, right? The child is the super cute, and I mean, he hasn't really used his abilities much at all this season, and it's like, they're obviously now tying this more into the grand scheme of the Star Wars lore a bit more, because Moff Gideon, and we'll get into that a little bit later as far as Moff Gideon's concerned and the reason that he's looking for the child. But one of the other big things that we got out of this episode 2, was that they met with the Mandalorian. The Mandalorian decided to go, on this hunt looking for. Sorry about that, guys. Go on this hunt looking for looking for other Mandalorians, and in the process of doing that, he ran into these rebel fighters that were looking for him, and then they let him go. Basically, they caught him and then they let him go. And it's interesting to see the dynamic of the galaxy right now. Because this is right after. How many years after the Battle of Endor is this?
I'm not sure. I kind of get confused with the timeline a little bit on that, on like where it places in that aspect of it. So
I'm not sure 100% how many years it is. How many years after the Battle of Endor is the Mandalorian? Let's see. 5 years. So the Mandalorian is set at the beginning of this chaotic period, just 5 years after the Battle of Endor, 981.
Wow, really?
Yeah.
For some reason, I thought it was like longer than that, because they talk about the, like some of them don't even know what Jedis are.
Right.
Well, so, and that kind of confuses me in terms of time, because after generations or whatever, you start to lose, because the Jedis were basically wiped out.
Well, bear in mind that the Jedis have been gone now for a long time. It's not just like 5 years. The Jedis have been gone for probably 30 years now. So I mean, like, not saying that they shouldn't know who they are, because they were around for thousands of years. But I'm saying, like, people who were born after the Battle of Endor. I'm sorry, people who were born after, after the Clone Wars. They don't know that the Jedis were like the police of the galaxy. They only know the Empire. So to them, all they knew was stormtroopers and the Empire and, those things. So, I mean, I get it. But it's interesting because nonetheless, I think that we're getting, a lot more... we're getting a lot more into the grand story of Star Wars as well, and what's shown in Episode 3. So, Episode 2 was I'm sure there's going to be some tie back to that later on with the Frog Lady and her husband and the eggs. I'm sure we're going to find out what happened to her later on at some point. But we basically got that info, and then we moved on to Episode 3, where now we actually meet with Bo-Katan. The first time we've ever seen well, actually not the first time. We did also have the guy from Rogue One. What's his name? We had who was the character from Rogue One that was played by Forrest Whitaker?
Oh,
he was in the video game too.
Oh, yeah. Man, I can't remember his name. Shoot.
It is...
Oh, my God.
It is... I'm just trying... It escapes me at the moment. But he's from the Clone Wars also. Like, he was from the Clone Wars TV show, and then he made his way onto Saw Gerrera.
Yeah, that's right.
Saw Gerrera. That's it. So Saw Gerrera was the character. And Saw is the first one, but now Bo-Katan makes her way onto the screen, and she actually, by name, mentions Ahsoka Tano. So Ahsoka Tano is not only alive, okay, but she is probably going to be on the show. I mean, listen, all the rumors seem to be coming true. I mean, Bo-Katan was a rumor. Okay, we heard Bo-Katan might make it onto the show. Now we actually have a live-action version of Bo-Katan on the show. Thank Christ, Dave Filoni. Thank you so much. This is awesome. Okay, this is great. Bo-Katan is awesome. She's also the last one that we saw to carry the Darksaber. Yes, so Bo-Katan was given the Darksaber by Sabine because she thought that Bo-Katan would be the better leader of the Mandalorians, So she wants to get the Darksaber back to become the Mandalore, to become the leader of the Mandalorian clan. So we're going to get a face-off here between Bo-Katan and Moff Gideon and possibly Ahsoka, because that is where he's bringing this. So he ran into them, and he ran into these other Mandalorians now, and he knows that the circuit of Mandalorians is much larger than just his group. Now, the other thing that was mentioned in there was that he is part of a smaller sect of Mandalorians called the Watch, right?
Right.
Now, the Watch sounds to me like a sect of the Death Watch, right? So do you think that the Watch, because they called it just the Watch, is like the reason they're kind of separated from the other Mandalorians is because that was Death Watch? Is that what that is? Do you guys think? I mean, do you think that basically this is the remnants of Death Watch?
It definitely brings up some questions, yeah, that there's different sects of them, to which, yeah, he was surprised when they removed their helmets.
He's like, so you guys aren't Mandalorian.
You guys aren't Mandalorians. No, hello, I was born and raised on Mandalore.
But they're more Mandalorian.
You did see Sabine, right?
Yeah, they're more Mandalorian than him.
Yeah, you saw Sabine, right?
What do you mean, Sabine?
Sabine was on the dock.
Sabine was in the show?
Yes.
No way.
Yes. How
do you know it was Sabine?
'Cause that was the only person it could be, was Sabine.
No, wasn't that what's her name? Wasn't that Rosario Dawson that we saw on the dock?
No.
That picture of the girl with the hood that's looking at them from a distance, you know who I'm talking about, right?
Yeah, I think that's Sabine.
That looked like Rosario.
That's the talk, is that it's Sabine.
That looked like Rosario Dawson.
If it was Ahsoka, then, you know, because her hair or whatever it is would be much bigger. That hood would have been much taller. And
maybe Rosario Dawson is playing Sabine. Maybe she's not playing Ahsoka. Maybe we got the info wrong.
Yeah, I can't remember who the actress is that's going to be playing Sabine, but yeah, being part of the Mandalorians, she was the one on the dock. So
I can't imagine. No, it's definitely Ahsoka. You know, we're gonna get it. I think Rosario's gonna play Ahsoka, and I mean, I can't believe that we're actually gonna see Ahsoka on this show right now. Like, I'm so stoked that we're gonna see Ahsoka on this show right now. I mean, I can't tell you how cool this show is right now to me. I mean, like, honestly, I'm gonna gush a little bit here, guys. I'm just gonna gush, okay? So just be prepared. I'm gushing, all right? Heavenly Christ, would the movies have been so much better if Favreau and Dave Filoni were in charge of the content that was in those movies? What's going on, Thane? What's up, RSG, Vormax? Yeah, I cannot believe how much attention to detail, how much love is in this show. I mean, just watching, you remember, I can't mention too much about episode 4 because it just passed, and I know a lot of people probably haven't seen episode 4 yet, but there's a scene where the stormtroopers are coming out in speeders, right? And they're like hovering down the hill with the speeders, and they're like, it's the coolest thing I've ever seen. And I'm thinking to myself, like, why? Like all the stuff that they think of, like, you know what I mean? It's like everything about the show feels so Star Wars, but it's got nothing to do with Jedi or Sith, and it's fantastic. You know, there's so much in there in the Star Wars universe that has nothing to do with Sith versus Jedi, and it's still so like I mean, just like the world is so I mean, like all these characters, and
it's just nice. Yeah, it's just nice to have something different.
Oh my God, I can't believe how well they put this together. I mean, like, just I watched the show and I am in love with everything. I mean, it's just like, I mean, so much awesomeness is happening, right? I mean, the music, the fight scenes, the theme song for the Mandalorian gets me going. I mean, I cannot tell you, I cannot understate how much I love this show. It's so good. It's the best show out right now, in my opinion. Best show out. And I just, and that's not just because I'm a Star Wars fan. Okay, it is a little bit because I'm a Star Wars fan. But you know what? I can't take my favoritism out. I can't take my bias out of it, okay? I mean, I'm a huge Star Wars fan, and this show happens to be a great Star Wars show. But I mean, it's just so well done. And I think to myself, like, man, the continuity that's on this show, just the crate dragon in episode 1 and the pearl and the attention to detail. There's not even a quarter of that attention to detail in any of the 3 saga films. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. I just can't believe that we had 3 saga movies come out, and now there's a TV show that's out that has that's more Star Wars than the damn movies. I feel like the show feels more Star Wars than episode 7, 8, or 9 of Star Wars. That's ridiculous, but it's the truth. Episodes 7, 8, 9 feel like a different story entirely. It feels like there's 1 through 6, and then 7, 8, and 9, although they're kind of related to episode 1 through 6, they feel like a different saga, okay? This feels like it's part of the Star Wars saga. It feels like another edition, like Rogue One. and we're about to get more more inserted in there, by by finding out now what Moff Gideon's after, and I think he's after Yoda, a baby Yoda's blood, because what's happening is they called it what did they call it? His M count, right? So I think they're talking about his midichlorian count. I think they're straight up talking about midichlorians again.
I think so.
Awesome. And people hated midichlorians. I love it. I don't care. I think midichlorians is true.
It's focusing on a whole different faction other than Empire and Sith or Jedi. So it's just something, that little world where you see new characters, new types of characters. That's what's like really nice, like with the child and the Mandalorian and the and Cara Dune and all these guys. It's just nice to see something different that's well put together. And it just kind of reminds me in a sense of like Rogue One, how Rogue One was put together very, very well and told a great story. But this is definitely something that people are just eating up, and it's so nice to see something that's just different for a change in the Star Wars universe.
Thane, how could this season be disappointing to you? I mean, like, I honestly, I kind of feel like this season's even better than the first one. I really do. I mean, it's so far, it feels like, they're even doing a little bit more fan service than I thought they were going to do, because they're bringing in Ahsoka. I mean, like, I thought to myself, like, okay, they're probably just going to do this show as, like, completely separate from any of the saga stuff, right? They're just going to, like, leave Ahsoka out of it. They're going to leave, they're going to leave Ezra out of it. They're going to leave all this stuff out of it, and they're just going to do the show. But, now that they are bringing Ahsoka in, and the way they're doing it, and the way they're kind of bringing in Bo-Katan, and they're making this bigger story about the Mandalorians, and, they're showing that there's different sects of Mandalorians, and the dynamic with Baby Yoda and the child and the Mandalorian himself. I think this is great. Listen, I get stuck watching this show, and when I'm watching, I every couple of seconds I watch it, I'm like, oh my God, I can't believe they did that. Oh my God, I can't believe that. I'm just like, I'm sitting there eating it up. You know what I mean? As a Star Wars fan, yes, it's nostalgia porn, but that's what we want. I don't want anything else. I don't want like them to create something new. Like, I want updated versions of the same old beats. I want like, okay, it is new, but I'm saying it's still like, it still feels very Star Wars to me, okay? And I just feel like that is what we're looking for. I want something grounded in this world. I don't want to go to a Star Wars movie to watch, James Bond movie. I want to go to a Star Wars movie to watch something that is Star Wars, even if it's a completely different story. I just think that, I watch this show, and I'm astounded every time I see an episode as to, like, how much love is put into this show. And I just wish that there was, more content like this that's Star Wars related. This is the best thing that we've had in Star Wars, since the original trilogy. This is the best thing in Star Wars since like Rogue One or the original trilogy. It's so good. I don't hate the movies. I just feel like this is so much better. And I feel like, it just shows you that if two guys who actually love Star Wars were writing the scripts and putting together the story, kind of like Kevin Feige is doing for the Marvel movies, that we would have so much better Star Wars content out there. It just shows. Disney has to see this and see that this is working, and what they did with the movies is not working. They have to. Anyway, I've been rambling for a while. Maurice, what do you think about episode 3 so far? All right. You have it right. You have it right there.
Anything more about that?
I can't really top anything you just said. That was the most passionate thing I've ever heard in my life.
What do you think about the addition of Bo-Katan, and how did you feel when she mentioned Ahsoka?
Nah, we knew it was coming. Yeah,
we had a feeling.
Bo-Katan maybe not, but Ahsoka, we knew that was coming. So I don't think that was much of a surprise, really. I don't know.
Do you like it, or do you like it, or do you think it's?
It's cool because it ties it into other eras, right? So there's familiar characters in the series now, so I think that's cool. We've got a lot of new familiar characters that we all know about. You got Boba Fett and you got Ahsoka, just characters we know, and so it's cool to kind of kind of tie it all in together. So it'll be really interesting to see where they go with it. I haven't seen 4 yet, the 4th episode. So we'll see. I'm pretty pumped. This season is a lot better than the first. I wasn't a huge fan of the first one. I enjoyed it. I mean, obviously, but I didn't think it was, as earth-shattering as a lot of people made it out to be. But this second season is much better, in my opinion, than the first.
I agree with you. I feel like I didn't think that there was anywhere to go but down after the first season. I thought, like, after the first season, like, okay, the first season was great because of something, like, nostalgic and it feels great. But second season, it's going to be more of the same and it's going to run on me. Like, I'm just going to be like, all right, I give up on this. But honestly, the second season, I'm even more interested now. I mean, they've got me. Hook, line, and sinker. I mean, I just love every second of it. I get so depressed when it's over because I'm like, I want more. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, I'm going to be so upset when this is over because I know that not only is it the end of the season, but we're probably not getting another season of The Mandalorian for like 2 years, right? Because of COVID. So it's like, thank God they got this in the tank and filmed it prior to COVID. So I mean, whatever, but we're probably looking at like, 2022 for season 3 of The Mandalorian, so that sucks. But whatever. Will Luke be in season 3? Maybe. I mean, it's not out of the realm of possibility. He exists in this world. The problem is you'd have to hire another actor to play Luke, and I don't think they're ready to do that. Because, Mark Hamill cannot play Luke 5 years after the Battle of Endor. He can't.
Yeah.
Sure he can.
Well, you're right. With de-aging now, they possibly could, right?
But they put Tarkin in the movie dead.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They can do whatever they want.
True.
You're right.
You're
right. I mean, like, well, they could also do what they did, like with Will Smith in that movie Gemini Man, where they made him look like he's in his 30s. They did it in the Rise of Skywalker. I mean, the Last Jedi. They de-aged him in the Last Jedi. Yeah, I mean, so I mean, it's totally possible. It's just they would have to be Mark Hamill. I wouldn't want to see another person playing Luke Skywalker. It'd have to be Mark Hamill or somebody.
Yeah.
It'd have to be like, and he'd have to look like he did in The Rise of Skywalker, when he was fighting Leia. He'd have to basically look like that. They'd have to make him look. I mean, that's a computer-generated image of Mark Hamill when he takes his helmet off when he's training with Leia.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, young Leia was in Rogue One too, but a lot of people freaked out about that. A lot of people were upset about Tarkin and Leia in Rogue One. Honestly, I think it was okay.
Oh, they can bite me.
I think it was okay. Leia looked fine. For the technology, it's fine. I mean, I don't think Carrie Fisher would care. It's not a disrespect. If anything, it's a respect of the character. That you're still putting them in there. Young Leia had to be in there. And she looked fantastic. I thought that the animation they did. Tarkin looked fantastic. I mean, people complained about it like, oh, it doesn't look good. Come on, man. That was ridiculous. They brought Cushing back to life on the screen. He looked it looked great. It looked great. I mean, yeah, is it perfect? No. Okay, but I mean, considering where we are with technology nowadays, I mean, he looked like a real person sitting there.
Yeah.
And it was unreal, what they're able to do now, so I'm not against that at all. I hope they do consider that, because if they bring back Luke with another actor, I'm not going to be into it. Like, I don't want to see another person play Luke Skywalker. Don't. So
I don't think they would do that.
Yeah. But all right. I mean, so yeah, we're possibly getting Ahsoka maybe next episode. I don't know. But Ahsoka's coming. Bo-Katan's on the show. And the actress, what do you think about the actress who played Bo-Katan? You think she was, like, on the money, or do you think they were off with the actress that they chose for Bo-Katan?
No, I think she was on, besides the fact that she was the voice in the series, in the animated series.
She's the one that played the voice, right?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Katie Sackhoff. Mm-hmm.
It's unreal, that they got... I was the only thing I was thinking is, like, they're going to get Ahsoka, and they're not going to have the girl that plays Ahsoka do the voice for Ahsoka, which kind of sucks, but it's all right. It's all right. I mean, you get a big named actor like Rosario Dawson to come into Star Wars, you're not going to tell her that you're not using her voice. You know what I'm saying? Like, she's going to be Ahsoka live action. That's it. And I understand. That's fine. But
I mean, I will say, as soon as she showed up on screen, I knew exactly who she was. You know, like they did, like I did a good job of that. So
as soon as she showed up on screen, you thought Bo-Katan right away.
Yeah.
Right. The same thing. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, and what did you think of that girl that was in the on the screen with the robes or whatever? Do you think that's Ahsoka? Or do you think
very possibly.
I don't know.
Yeah,
You guys in the chat, tell me what you guys think. There was a girl on the dock when they arrived with a robe on that looked to me like Rosario Dawson. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know who she was. She was only on screen for like a half a second. Master says it's Sasha Banks. I don't know who that is. Maybe.
Dylar wrote earlier that he said it was Sasha Banks. So
who is Sasha Banks?
part of the Night Owl, or I need to look back here. The other female Night Owl. Okay, the person on the dock was Sasha Banks. That's what Dylar says.
Okay, so basically, it wasn't Sabine or Ahsoka.
Maybe it was Sabine, or somebody had said it was Sabine. So
reused extra, vague. Reused extra. B. Mossy, the wrestler. Yeah. That was Sasha Banks, a wrestler. Okay. She's the wrestler. It's not Rosario Dawson, dude. Okay, it looked a little bit. I saw it for a second. Okay, it looked a little bit like Rosario Dawson.
Nah, Sasha Banks don't look anything like Rosario Dawson, man. Yeah, there's a big difference there.
Okay, all right. WWE wrestler. Okay, so Sasha Banks is a wrestler. Got it. Sabine isn't that dark skinned. Okay, all right, but in the TV show she could be. You know, she is a little dark skinned. You know, she's not gonna be a Caucasian person on the show if she comes on the show. And Sabine, what do you guys think? Do you think Sabine will come on the show? I mean, we've seen Bo-Katan. We're gonna see Ahsoka. So. Do you think Sabine has to be on, right?
I think so. I think she's going to be in.
Where is Ezra? I mean, like that's what perplexes me, because technically after the Battle of Endor, the next thing that we see from Sabine and Ahsoka is they're on a mission to go find Ezra. So if we see Sabine or Ahsoka, it will have to be after they've either found Ezra or with Ezra, or they gave up. You know what I mean? Like, and they stopped looking for Ezra. So I don't know if we're going to find out anything about Ezra on this show, but I don't know.
Yeah, if they bring in Thrawn, man, I'll just, oh my God. That would be so awesome.
If Thrawn is on the show, I would freak out.
I would freak out. I'd be yelling, "It's my blueberry muffin." Oh, yes.
I mean, it's not going to happen this year, but if they brought Thrawn on the show, or if they had the Mando help them find Ezra,
I would die.
That would be amazing. Amazing.
I would die.
So,
yes.
So at the end of the episode, Moff Gideon knows where they are, right? And he knows that they're alive. And he knows he still has the asset or the child or whatever. So it looks like they're looking for midichlorians from the child's blood to possibly use with clones, because remember the doctor from season 1 was a doctor who worked on the clones in Camino, right? So he had a Camino badge on his outfit. So what are we thinking here? Do we think Moff Gideon's trying to take the blood from the child so that he can inject that blood into future clones for his army? So that they have the Force? I mean, do you think that's what his plan is?
I don't know. I think it's going to be slowly revealed.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah, we're going to get teased, and then it's going to pull back a little bit, and then it's going to move forward a couple steps, maybe pull back a little bit, then move forward more a couple steps. Because the number 3, you see at number 2, he kind of goes forward and then he kind of goes back a little bit. So, and then he's going forward. So it's kind of a bouncing back and forth, because they're supposed to be searching for the child's parents, species, or whatever. So they're not getting very far with that so far.
Master's saying that maybe it's Snoke, that they're creating Snoke for the First Order. Well, the First Order is forming right now in in that timeline. So somewhere out there, besides Moff Gideon's sect of the Empire, there's another sect of the Empire that's heading out to the Outer Rim and into the unknown regions right now to re-meet with Palpatine and to start the First Order. So, I don't know how that works, but it's out there somewhere. That's happening now, at some point out there. So, Palp is definitely still pulling the strings, obviously, but no, Gideon was left behind. Yeah, he probably is left behind, but I mean, nonetheless, I mean, he knows something about the Force. I mean, so he's trying to get Baby Yoda's blood for a reason, and I think it's obviously because he has a high midichlorian count, so that means that it's got to be related to the Force in some way, but we'll see.
Well, it'll be interesting to find out how they know that. Where did this child come from? Because when he first finds the child is almost like in a storage unit in a sense. Yeah. It was almost in storage with all these dirty stuff all over it and everything. How long was he sitting there?
I don't know.
I would love to know how that came about.
The other thing is, I'm really excited to see Ahsoka's reaction to Baby Yoda. Right, because obviously Ahsoka knows the real Yoda, so it's right. When she sees Yoda, she's gonna freak out. Either that, or we may actually find out what species Yoda is, because maybe Ahsoka knows. It just has never been mentioned. Like nobody says anything, but maybe Ahsoka knows where Yoda's planet is or where he's from. But I'm really excited to see Ahsoka's reaction to Baby Yoda, because it should be one of like, oh my god, I know this thing. What I'm saying? Like it should be one of familiarity, right? It's like she should see Baby Yoda, whether it's Rosario Dawson or not, she should see Baby Yoda and say, oh my god, like that's a baby version of my master, so I mean, like I'm kind of curious to see how she acts like that. Yeah, I mean, it's pretty interesting. There's a lot of good night, Stonewall. Thanks for stopping by. But it's definitely exciting to see, But all right, let's move on from the show. We can talk more Mandalorian after a couple more episodes. We'll talk maybe about we'll have another chat about. She's got to be 30, 40 years old, probably, Ahsoka. Between 30 and 40. Somewhere around there. She's older at the end of the Battle of Endor. She's already probably 30 at the Battle of Endor. So she's probably 35. She should be around 50, Thane says. Okay. That's possible too. Man, that means the Jedi have been missing for a long time. 40 years. Let's talk about this character on screen at the moment. Let's talk about the child and IG-11. So, Gam, what are your initial impressions on IG-11 so far?
Awesome. Very, very, very good. These two characters are amazing. They're right up there. They're right up there with the newer characters like Chupio, Piet. Very, very good. I know Thursday we had Mansell on the stream, and this is before IG-11, obviously, but he was doing great, cool stuff with the bounty hunters and Queel. Because Queel's got a real high base speed under Django, acts kind of like the Terminator facilitator of the team. Very good. And IG-11 with Queel is a pre-taunt. Really, really wicked taunt. He's got a Omega that goes really well with IG-88 lead. So there's all sorts of synergy. You might get some utility out of characters you haven't used in a while. Like IG-88s, obviously they're good with T3. T3 is really, really good with the team. L3 is good. Any scoundrels, maybe you leveled up Zalbar mission, put the Zetas on them for the Revan event. You get some utility out of them now. So there's some cool things that I've seen, some real cool stuff. I know Clash is working pretty hard on some scoundrel stuff. I won't spill the beans of that. I'm sure he's gonna do tons of videos regarding that. And he knows the characters way better than I do. I've got a 7-star Queel. I got my IG-11 up to right at 6-star today, 75 and 85. So it's I'll just chill and see, because there's apparently some event coming. We'll have an opportunity to get some shards for him. So I'm just gonna hold out and see what that's all about. And they clearly alluded to that you're going to need these characters for something. So they take gear. They take a lot of stun cuffs, or stun guns, rather.
Yeah. I've got Quill up to 5 stars. I haven't done anything with IG-11 yet. I'm just kind of waiting for the next Galactic Challenge to get that, and probably buy the pack, and then just kind of figure out what I want to do after that.
I think 5 star is a good spot. You can farm them. We'll see what's going on with these limited time farming events they were talking about. I got the hiccup, sorry. And then in the event they do rush some sort of legendary hero's journey sort of event, you can pluck some out of shipments if you really wanted to.
Right. Well, hopefully they're still in there. Yeah.
Yeah.
At least in the crystal one or whatever. Yeah.
So for those people out there that would be willing to make an investment and spend some money to get the character because they spend money on the game, would you say that given the new price structure and everything that it's worth it to go for IG-11?
I never really recommend it's worth it, right, in this game. I will say I got what's his name, Quill, for 1 vault, and then the character pack. And for 1 vault, I got IG-11 to 75 out of 85. 20, what is it? However many you get, 20 out of 100 with that pack when I get it. So, it's if you really want to buy both these characters, you can probably, I think, $300 get you both of them. So I mean, it's steep. I mean, it's still expensive, but not nearly as expensive as it was, right? So I mean, it's all relative to what you consider value and if you spend or not. If you don't spend, there's definitely no reason to get these characters. Zero. Like if you don't, like, there's no reason to get it because you're going to spend a lot of money because you're going to spend 300 on the characters, and you're going to spend tons of crystals on the gear, and this is all just for a all based on speculation on what we're getting, right? So they alluded to in that interview that they'll be needed for something. We don't know what. We don't know if it'll be a legendary. We don't know if you'll need all sorts of other asinine characters to go with them to get something, So, I mean, if you get Quill and IG-11 all the way up and, ready for this mystery event, and then they require some other ridiculous characters, let's say, 88, L3, Mando, all these other characters that maybe you don't have, then you've already pot committed yourself, and that's a terrible feeling, So
you also don't know you don't know if you're even going to like the character that comes out that you have to get. Maybe it's a new version of Ahsoka. That's kind of what I'm thinking at this point. If Ahsoka,
I don't know. They mentioned something about Beskar in the post. In the road ahead.
If they're bringing Ahsoka into the show, I can find no reason why they wouldn't try to capitalize on selling another version of Ahsoka in this game.
Yeah, that'd be later.
Yeah,
that'd be later. That's the next.
Yeah. Beskar Mando, maybe that's possible. Does the Mando?
I mean, I think if you guys have a vault to spend in the game, you're better suited getting gear and getting your relic stuff ready for your Galactic Legend. I don't think by any means you should stop what you're doing on any sort of Galactic Legend progress to get these characters. I think the Galactic Legend is obviously going to be way, way better. These characters don't beat a Galactic Legend. I mean, Van Seal was beating Sith Emperor with Bounty Hunters and Quill, but I mean, he's got all R7s, Bounty Hunters, and decked out with mods, a really, really good Bounty Hunter team. So I mean, that's the least popular, not popular, but the rarest Galactic Legend. So I would just go after Luke, go after Palpatine. If you guys don't have Rey and Kylo, I'd go after them way before I consider Quill and 11. SE doesn't suck, man. SE is pretty good.
Yes, I'm farming him, just starting to farm his tickets on one account, and then on the other account I'm just about ready to farm JML and C, so I'm kind of excited about that.
Awesome. So, what a ridiculous question by Cream Pie Lars. That's a baiting question, my friend. Don't ask baiting questions. I'm gonna remove that. question. Okay.
I don't even see what you're talking about. My bad, I missed it.
I missed it, too.
He's asking if people voted for Trump.
Oh no, we don't need to know that.
Yeah, he's asking if people voted for Trump or they thought he was a racist. You know, that's a silly question, Cream Pie. Ask Star Wars stuff. Come on, man. Anyway, so yeah, I think IG-11 is pretty cool. I kind of agree with Maurice. I don't think any of these characters are need to. Go buy a PlayStation. You know, go buy a Nintendo Switch. Go buy an Xbox Series X, or go buy a PC, even better, and use that to play games and possibly make that kind of an investment will at least last you a long time, and it's something physical you can use. All right, so I guess I'm gonna have to hide this user. You're just gonna keep asking those kinds of questions, my friend. You get the ban hammer, my friend. Bam!
I don't know if we ever banned anybody from this show. That might be a first.
Never. But I mean, I don't. You know, that's. I mean, listen, I don't care about politics, but honestly, like somebody sitting there asking questions about racist Trump, and I mean, listen, you know, just. You know, have some respect for other people. Okay, nobody cares about that stuff right now. We're not talking Trump. You know, we're talking about Star Wars, man. If this was a different show, like if this was just a live open discussion show, then I would definitely entertain questions like that. But right now, we're not doing that. So, but thank you for coming. Subscribe to the channel. Leave a like on the video. But anyway, yeah, so what we're going to do now is we're going to wrap up the show pretty soon. I wanted to start a little bit earlier tonight because I have a funeral I have to go to tomorrow morning. One of my friend's fathers passed away, so I got to be at a funeral parlor in Queens, which is about an hour away from my house, at 9 a.m. So that means I got to leave here at like 7:30 with traffic and everything like that to get there. Plus, I still want to do a little bit of a hike to get some more cardio in today, and you know, I just want to get all those things knocked out. So, what we're going to do now is we're going to get into the Q&A segment of the show now. So, if you guys have any questions you'd like to ask, I know we've already seen a few questions in the chat. We'll scoop those up and answer them. Anybody have any topics they'd like to discuss? Now would be the time to type that into the chat so we can answer those questions and discuss those topics before we wrap up the show. Do we have any questions, Maurice, already?
Yeah, we got a few. I guess we already talked about this. I was unsure, but yeah, we already talked about it. As a non-Star Wars nerd, I was surprised how many people freaked out over Bo-Katan showing up in Episode 3. Was the Rebel pilot who tried to get Cara Dune to join the Rebels anyone special?
Anyone special?
He seems familiar.
I think that we're going to find out that he is somebody later. You know what I'm saying? But I don't. He does seem familiar.
He does seem very familiar, and it's interesting that they would have a Rebel pilot be so prominent in that particular spot if he's not prominent or not meant to be something else or to show up again, kind of a thing.
I'm looking it up right now. X-Wing pilots from The Mandalorian. Who plays the X-Wing pilots? The squadron consisted of New Republic pilots Trapper Wolf and Sasha Kidder and Jib Dodger. That's their names. So nobody that we know, but I'm sure they'll come back at some point later on in the show. So, I mean, you know, they have a roundabout way. Dave Filoni never does anything for no reason at all. Right, so like, you know, anything that he did, like bringing those characters in, like they will probably circle back around at some point by the end of this season, or maybe even not this season, maybe 2 seasons from now, maybe next season. They'll come back around, and one day when the Mandalorian is in some serious shit, those guys are going to come down and help him out again or something. Something like that's going to happen. Like there's definitely going to be a moment where those guys reemerge on the show. Power Rangers stream, you want it back? I've been actually on like a little bit of a hiatus from Power Rangers. I'm still playing it periodically, but I haven't played competitively. So I've been playing like ladder matches and doing like live PvP, but I haven't been doing the guild related stuff. So I've been kind of just because I mean it's expensive, man, and honestly I've just been really busy the last couple of weeks. But I will do another Power Rangers stream. If you want, maybe we'll do it tomorrow night or something. Maybe I'll just throw a Power Rangers stream up. B. Masu just asked a question: who to do first, JML or SEE, or neither?
I think I don't know. I think JML might be a little better overall. I think Emperor is probably better offensively. I think at the end of the day, months from now, we'll be looking at Kylo and SEE on offense, and just to make a competitive SEE team, you really need to bring out all the goodies, right? Like you got to have a decked out team. Whereas the other, like Ray, especially in 3 versus 3, you can throw Ray with two, just pick two. You know, like SE, you really need to use meta characters with. Kylo, I mean, you could throw your damn Night Sisters in there. You know, like these other characters are much more flexible with the teams they need. But SE, I think you really need the bee's knees. Maybe not 3 versus 3, but 5 versus 5 for sure. You're talking about probably sacrificing your DR and or Traya squad to make a very good team defensively. And they're just 5 versus 5. They're so vulnerable to so much. Like there's so much stuff that can beat it. Like there are certain comps you run Night Sisters can beat SE. You know, so it can be tough. I would get if you got Luke, which I think you do, man. I would definitely go Luke.
I hear that. I mean, honestly, after seeing what's happening with everything going on with these characters, I'm kind of feeling now like I was gonna go for SEE after Kylo, but I'm kind of feeling like now I really just want to go for Jedi Master Luke and then go for I want to go for Jedi Knight Luke first and then go for Jedi Master Luke afterwards. Like I think that's the path now. I mean, because I definitely want Jedi Knight Luke more than anything, and you know, going after that, the natural progression from there is to go after Jedi Master Luke. You want to see my my first order? I'm almost there, man. I just have one more piece I need. I keep there's so much needed to get these characters. I need to get everything's ready on the first order side. I just need to get him done. Veteran Smuggler Han. I need to get him one more tier and then I'm done. I've got everything else ready. One more tier with Han, and I'm ready to get Supreme Leader Kylo. So I'm excited about that. So what's going on? Any more questions?
Yeah, we got a couple more here. We got this one's from Vormax. What's up, man? Would you recommend Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes Dolphin player to spend on IG, Babysitter 11, and Queel? No.
No, man.
Save your resources for a Galactic Legend, man. That's going to be my answer every time. Like these characters are great, but at the end of the day, they're just going to supplement teams. They're not going to make existing teams that much better to the point where you need to get distracted. Like sure, Queel and IG-11 would be a little tougher on defense, but still, there's teams that are going to beat it. The same teams that probably beat your existing scoundrels or existing droids. So no, man, go get your GLs done, or at least the GLs you're interested in.
Yeah.
And see.
Wait a minute. I totally misunderstood his question. He's talking about the Rebel pilot who spoke to Cara Dune. He wasn't talking about the two pilots that talked to him in episode 2.
The pilot that talked to Cara Dune. Yeah.
Okay, well, that is spoilers for episode 4, so I don't want to go into too much about that. But he basically knew everything that happened on. Yeah, so we also, we can't talk about it. Anything I say is going to be spoilers for episode 4, so we can't talk about it. But yeah, I know which one you're talking about.
We'll talk about it next week.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about, Thane, and I know which guy you're talking about now, and not Thane, sorry, Nightmare. Yeah, next time we'll talk about that. I mean, I'm kind of curious about that too. That he knew a lot, and we found out something about Kara and where she's from, which is pretty interesting too. So, we'll talk about that later. What was what was that question again, Maurice? I'm sorry. I just I was reading Nightmare's question again. I was like, oh wait, we answered the question wrong. So I was just thinking. Anyway. Just basically,
if you recommend the Dolphin player to spend money on IG-11 and Queel.
Yeah, no, I agree with Maurice on that one. It's not. You don't want to invest as a Dolphin player. I mean, you really. Okay, we're back. Okay. Sorry, guys. I had to pull the plug on the connection there. For some reason, it was really dead there. So hopefully,
Hello?
Yeah, it immediately dropped again.
Yeah, couldn't hear you.
It's always some sort of technical difficulties, guys. Otherwise, it wouldn't be a great stream. Okay, but as far as that goes, yeah, no, I agree with Gom. It's one of those things where, I've been a Dolphin. I know what spending is like. You're not spending like a whale. You're spending kind of a little bit, of a tier below that. And those resources that you do spend money on are so vital, right? So when you do spend money on a vault, you're kind of spreading it out over the course of weeks or a month. You're not buying a vault every other day like a super mega whale, right? So you need to use that for refreshes, to farm gear. You need to use that to buy, essential stuff out of get your Galactic Legends, because that's the name of the game here. Having IG-11, Jesus Christ. It dropped again.
You got that dial-up?
Got that dial-up internet, guys. So, buying IG-11 or Queel is not going to change your roster. It's not going to be a game changer. So stick to what Maurice said. Next question.
All right, we got one more here. This comes from Kuzman Najillo. Sorry, man, if I butchered your name. I'm sure I did. Who is the best fifth for a Padme team when all players are in their ideal teams? Grandmaster Yoda is excluded because he's better in the JKR. C3 is better in CLS. Basically, the best fifth in ideal GAC meta. Well, it's going to be Padme, GK, Anakin, Ahsoka. I would probably do C3, and even an under-geared 3-4 star Chupio is really good in your Han or your CLS team. You could try that.
Now, is that for a Padme team, or is that for a possible fifth R2D2?
Yeah, R2 is definitely good. Like it's tough because you don't want to break up teams, but Padme. I guess it depends on what you're using Padme for. Like if you want to use Padme specifically to counter Grievous, then you're probably going to want to run it real fast, like Grandmaster Yoda on there, right? Like it all depends on what you're using it for. I mean, I'm assuming since Grandmaster Yoda eventually Jedi Knight Revan it's not a traditional team. Like he ends up being paired with other characters to counter other things, right? Like you eventually end up using him to counter a Galactic Legend, and then you'll have lots of leftovers. This is long term, but Grandmaster Yoda is good. R2 is really good. If you don't have Chupio, then you probably want to keep 3PO on your Han team or CLS team. You can use. I mean, you can use any Galactic Republic, honestly. Barriss is good on that team. Barriss is actually a good option too if you have Barriss. I don't think you really need the Zeta. She's just kind of there. She's so slow. Yeah, Clone Wars Chewbacca. Basically, if you can have a really slow Galactic Republic character, as long as they survive, they're going to have tons and tons of courage. So they'll one-shot a character when it's eventually their turn. R2 does the same thing too, actually. So,
right.
Yeah, so there's lots of just anything Galactic Republic. And honestly, offensively, you could probably get by with using just the 4 of them without a fifth in a lot of situations, like a weaker Night Sister team. Maybe you're facing just some other scrubby teams, and you get an undersized with just the 4 of them.
I would
Yeah,
say,
Shakti's a good. Shakti's really, really good actually. Good suggestion. But yeah, when you eventually get gas, if you haven't already, your Shakti will probably be homeless, and that's a great home for her.
yes, I agree. Yeah, Shakti is a good addition there for sure, and Zaris isn't bad either. But yeah, I mean, if you're talking about taking 3PO out because you want to use them on a different team, then I would say that you probably want to go with Anakin, GK, Ahsoka, and probably Shakti. I mean, do you think you could use what's his name in there? Jesus. You think you could use Wat Tambor on that team?
Well, you could. I mean,
yeah.
I'm assuming he's not quite to the stage. This person that asked this isn't quite to the stage of Wat Tambor.
Right.
Just an assumption. I could be wrong, but
yeah. B. Masu asks question: how does your guild feel about you not having even one galactic legend? You know what?
Yep, that was the next question. Yes, sir.
You know what? My guild feels pretty good because I kick more ass in territory wars than people that have 2 and even 3 galactic legends. Okay, so bam, there you go. All right, I get the job done. All right.
Good question, B. Monster. Good question.
All right. It's about the effort and the heart. And I've been a good boy to my guild lately. B. Monster can't complain. I've been a good boy.
Oh, yeah?
I have been a good boy. I've been a good guildmate. Okay, I got my 600 done every day.
Whoa! What?
I contribute all the time now. At least I could do more, but I'm doing pretty good. Are you expecting something big for the 5th anniversary? I mean, I hope they give us 20 more Zetas. I hope they maybe give us some shards for some of these new characters. That'd be cool. I hope it's not just Chewie shards. I hope maybe we get some shards for, shards for Grief Karga or Cara Dune or, any of these characters that people are working on right now. The characters that really,
right.
The characters that really are, that we're really going after. Not characters that obviously most people that have been playing the game for 5 years now have 7 stars already. But we'll see. But all right, I think that's pretty much it. So let's talk a little bit about Operation Metaverse this week. What's going on with you guys?
TMoney has recovered from her funk, and we're back streaming Thursday nights. And yeah, Thursday night we got a stream at 10:30 on YouTube. I'm streaming damn near every night over on Twitch at 10:30. I guess I've got the kinks worked out of that, so I can start announcing that. Yeah, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday I've been streaming at 10:30, and then periodically through the week. We had a fun one today. I did pretty well in my Grand Arena. I did not have a fun one the other day when I fought my guildmate. He kicked my ass. But it's fun. It's fun to get your ass kicked in front of lots of people, so that's always a good time. But it's been fun over there. So thank you guys for all the support you've shown us over on that streaming service.
And what about Boba's Boba's podcast this week?
Yeah, Monday night we're going to have the another round table. So that will be recorded and put on the Boba's Alliance website and I think YouTube as well. So.
Okay. All right, great. And also make sure to check out Reality Skewed Gamers this Wednesday night with Ranger Infinity. There's links in descriptions for all the channels for Operation Metaverse, Boba's Alliance, and Reality Skewed Gamers. Also, check out Master Kylo and his Twitch channel. He streams Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes almost on the daily. So make sure to go check out Master Kylo and his channel. And support all the Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes YouTubers. That's obviously all the big ones like Arnold and obviously you want to support them as well. So everybody that streams the game, show support. But I appreciate all you guys coming out tonight. Maybe maybe Thane, I may do a Power Ranger stream this week. I'm going to be off 4 days this week for Thanksgiving, so maybe I'll get one in. I don't have my son right now, so I can probably get one in maybe tomorrow, but we'll see. Either way, definitely, look forward to the next show. We're going to be discussing any of the new topics. I hope everybody has a wonderful, if I don't speak to you guys, hope everybody has a wonderful Thanksgiving, a wonderful holiday season, a wonderful holiday, but we'll be back next Sunday with some more show. And, I wish you guys the best. Have a great rest of your weekend. Everyone, thank you so much for coming by and contributing tonight. It was a lot of fun. May the force be with you guys, and we'll see you on the next one. Have a good night, everybody.